Welcome back to MTVTA, guys. I'm your guys' host, Trent Manager. For all my returning patrons, welcome back. Returning viewers, welcome. Glad to have you guys here. All my new viewers and new patrons, of course, welcome, guys. Really glad to have you guys here now. And for all those who can't tell in the title or the thumbnail, we have such a historic day today as El Salvador has now declared Bitcoin as legal tender. So that is something months ago, even 1 year ago, even a couple years back, that they would call us crazy on. People had no faith that this would ever even come close to the magnitude that it is now. And just kind of throw some ethos in here just for a minute. For those who may not see or understand why this is a big deal, for those who live in more developed countries and really don't have to worry about the basic day-to-day overall issues that you may think don't apply to you, but apply to a lot of people around the world, such as individual banking, currency structure, job, economic, all those things that fall into place of structure that a lot of these places do not have, is a very, very large deal. So I just really wanted to eat those in there and just kind of keep that in mind for a reminder. I know it's hard to relate to things that don't apply to you directly, but in terms of how this is changing lives and how this is beneficial, not only just for the market in general, for getting us higher price action, but overall just life changing, and how these people now have an opportunity to be on the level playing field of the rest of the world is absolutely phenomenal. And I think everybody should have that chance to get that opportunity and become and have just a fair shot, just like everyone else. So just keeping that in mind. I know that's just something I just wanted to speak from the heart just for a second. So we got our Google documents of how El Salvador broke this down in the English translation version, about how the phases are going to be working out from phase 1 to phase 3, laws and regulations and everything that needs to go around this. I know it's a lot harder, when you start getting this big, that there are going to be questions arising about how things are going to go. But we'll go through the documents, the English translated version, and we can break those down. But overall, a super phenomenal day today, but by far probably the most historic day in Bitcoin's history and cryptocurrency history, right here that you guys are witnessing live. This is the first country to do this. Absolutely phenomenal. So first off, guys, we're going to hop into just a quick overall Bitcoin.com article that I wanted to hop over here. They crushed it with the submajority of Salvadorian Congress. 62 out of 84 votes voted this thumbs up. So I know Mr. Bukele had a majority of his party, really ran most of the parties behind him, supported him. And we knew, of course, we know how it goes. If you watch how bills, fall out, first it's just a bill and it's got to go through Congress and Congress got to approve it. But, this is something that was in the works, and it is most likely going to get approved. We got that thumbs up today. And as he does, control majority of the party, it was a no-brainer for a thumbs up. And the purpose of this law is to regulate Bitcoin as an unrestricted legal tender with liberating power, unlimited in any transaction and to any title that public or private or legal persons require to carry out. So first, let's kind of go into the before we get any further, let's go into the quick Google article and let's see exactly what was the Congress bill. So just do a quick overview right here. I did a quick read through. I won't read through all of it. I know you guys can read yourselves. So just take a quick glance at here. I can get this posted. I'll probably have this posted up on my Instagram and Twitter story. I'll put this in the Patreon as well if this is something you guys want to read. But you can look this up too in general. This isn't something that's hidden or anything. Like, I didn't crack any crazy government docs or anything. But here's the first page. Following, we're going to go through a little bit on the second page because it's a little bit easier. So for the Art 1, the purpose of the law is to regulate Bitcoin as an unrestricted legal tender with liberating power, unlimiting in any transaction and to any title that private or public, natural or legal persons carrying out. Is we go to Art 2, the exchange rate between Bitcoin and United States dollar, so country USD, will be freely established by the market. Prices may be expressed in Bitcoin. Tax contributions can be paid in Bitcoin. Exchanges in Bitcoin will not be subject to capital gains tax, just like any legal tender. For accounting purposes, the USD will be used as a reference money, reference currency. Every economic agent must accept Bitcoin as payment when offered to him, whoever acquires a good or service. So let's actually explain that last part. So in terms of have to accept for legal for legal tender and services. So if you go into any store here, and you have 1,000 pennies and that's what you need to pay for, they have to accept that. It is dumb as that is, as crazy and annoying as that is as a cashier, that being that person, it has to be done. They cannot deny you that type of, they can't deny legal tender. They have to buy it from you. So with that being said, so let's put this example into play, that if, mom and dad have a mango shop down the street or a watermelon, and they don't have any internet access or anything of means of accepting Bitcoin, then, the US dollar can come into play. This is not a complete overhaul of the US dollar taking over, Bitcoin is not going to be the only sort of payment. It is just that B pipeline, like we talk about, if you guys have been here for a while, that we talk about, especially with DeFi and all these other, things that come along with the space, is that now we have two different options. So now, instead of our old rusted pipeline, we have a new pipeline that can be the exact same. How we talk about, why in the world can we drive different cars from different countries around the world? Why can we wear such different clothes? Why can we bank with different people? You don't even have to bank with the U.S. bank to use, to construct in certain countries. You can, our world reserve currency goes around. So why in the world is our finance system all congested into one finance system? And now that is becoming a reality, to where we now have two separate divisions for the most important division in the world, which is finance. That is, it controls everything. We cannot have a civilization without economic backbone structure. It just doesn't happen. So you guys can tell I'm very excited about this, but not only just from the price action point, but man, if you guys have been here for a while, guys, we have talked about the possibilities of this, what would have to happen, the adoption, everything that has just, over the weeks and months that have formed into this, have now fallen into a legal tender proposition for a real country. This is actually changing lives, like we have talked about so many times. Yes, price action is awesome. Making a great amount of money off Dogecoin and all these coins is awesome. Getting, it's just not every day that we get a asset class that's coming along, disrupting our world currency structure and, making this new avenue possible. So, and moving on to our next slide, I know I got, a little wordy there for a second, but, you can really feel the magnitude of my voice today. You can really understand how excited I am about this, just because, I know that this is changing. This is going to change. This is the first step, and this will continue to change people's lives, having the same financial economic value as everybody else in the world. Because think about it. You keep your US dollars in your savings account. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Year over year, you're losing money. If you have it in a bank account, you got $100,000 in bank account, next year it's going to be worth less. It's going to be like 96, or 97, whatever the inflation rate may be. One Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if the price is 20,000, it's still, the exchange rate, the quality is still the same. And I know we haven't seen that price action reflected just yet, but I know we're having a pretty solid day in terms of, a little bit of a rebound rally. I'm not going to, get too crazy in the price action and, say we're out of the woods just yet, because that's just not the truth. We may need some time, for things to settle down and continue to develop the way they are. But ultimately, guys, you now see that this is something that is, it's not going away, just like we've talked about. It's not going away. It's not. And it's something that is phenomenal and will keep growing. And I know I'm getting a little wordy, so I'm going to get back on track here. But just really wanted to express that ethos from that point of view, because there's just been so much greed, within the market of people, just caring for themselves. And I know maybe it's because I work in the field and maybe because I, this is my job, but this is something that I think it literally almost makes me shake, because this is it's so great. This is so phenomenal. And I really want to go over to Kevin O'Leary's video quickly before we get too wordy and too crazy on this. This was a great one from June 8th. I know this was yesterday and doesn't really pertain to the topic, but I really want to bring this in here. We got a dude that is one of the most recognizable guys on Wall Street. He says, I don't care if it goes to 20,000 or up 20,000. I'm not selling. One Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin, and I'm in it for the long run. So these mentalities, they carry over, and and I know there's been a lot of influx of newer users and newer guys who got in 55, 50K, but it's the technology we're here for. That's what we're here for. And those who are here for a quick flip, or not here for the long haul and just really here for the greed, that's okay. But truthfully, I would really recommend that you guys, those guys who are here for the short run, to take some time and learn about blockchain technology, from my channel, or really dive into your own time and really figure out why people risk their time, risk their effort, to make a lot of these things possible. And going over to Caitlin Jung's Twitter, even, I didn't want to make this video too long. I'm trying to keep this under 12 minutes for you guys, just to kind of show the magnitude. Caitlin Long is a 22-year Wall Street analyst. She spent her great time on Wall Street. Now she's in the cryptocurrency community. Here, I'll show you guys a quick video just from El Salvador's this is their closing arguments of Congress after the vote. You can just see I know it's bad quality, but you guys can see the hugs and I know the face masks are hard too, but you can see the clapping, the applause, people, really taking it in. I mean, it's a big ethos day, guys. It's a big emotional day for these people, and Caitlin Young goes down to explain even further. If we go back down to the bottom here, that she goes over the kind of the small integrations that they're going to have. All merchants in the country will be able to accept, and nobody can refuse Bitcoin. We talked about that. 90 days to implement this new payment system, so they got about 90 days to turn this around. And like we talk about also is that no enterprise or country wants to be first in the water, and could just for the reasons if it's hot in the water, if it's cold and it doesn't work out, that person drowns. But nobody wants to be last to the party, to get all the leftover food and all the warm drinks and all that. You'd rather be first to the party, get all the cold drinks and all the hot food. But realistically, guys, this is something that I think is going to spark something large over time, just like how we have been patient. If you guys are still here, if you've been watching for months now, like we've been here, and you've stuck through it all, you are now seeing a really great chapter of a book being written right in front of you. And we will come back and talk about this day probably a year or two later and say, wow, that was huge. And a lot of people will overlook this, and either because they're not educated and understand why this is a big deal, or they just simply won't care until we're back up to sky high levels and things are all grand and dolly and jolly again when we're putting in crazy green candles every single day. So that's about my wrap for the day, guys. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything like usual. You guys know my mind goes a million miles an hour. But also here, before the entry into force of law, state will argue through the creation of trusts. Banco del Salvador, the automatic institutional convertible payment of USD is necessary for the alternatives provided by the state. So that's great. That's so that just kind of backs up the 90-day effect of how this is going to come into play. But really, guys, wanted to bring this video, kind of just brush off some quick information on it, and kind of just explain briefly why this is such a large deal, and how moving forward, this is something that is that's great for us. This is something I'm very happy. So congratulations to El Salvador, Paraguay. I know they're up next. I know a lot of those neighboring countries, Nicaragua, and I don't think Guatemala is that far down in location. I know where they are on the map. I'm looking in my head, but I'm trying to, really try to pinpoint. I'm not very good with geography sometimes. But alrighty, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this was super helpful. We will be streaming tomorrow on Thursday. But really just wanted to kind of bring this video to you guys and kind of just break this down and show how this was important. I will post that those clips, those documents in the Patreon. I'll put some on my Instagram story too, just for those who want to reread it and kind of do your own research on it as well. But overall, guys, such great news. Oh, here, let's sorry guys, I'm all over the place. We're not done just yet. Hold on, let's review this art, this last slide just real quickly. Art 12, yep, to those who all obtain. I'll let you guys read this over real quick before we log off. Yeah. Entry of force of law will still graduate creation. Yeah, that's amazing. That's so awesome, guys. Alrighty, guys, I'll have these posted. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on Thursday.